All right, today we're diving into a really interesting new approach to mental health care called Continicare. It's a system that's trying to answer a huge question. How can we use technology to get people the right kind of help right when they need it most? So let's dig in and see how it works.
If you ask people this, a lot of them will say it's just getting started. It's the huge wait times, feeling totally lost, and, that really tough challenge of trying to explain your entire life in one sitting, just hoping you end up with the right therapist. And that's really the heart of the problem, right? The old school intake interview, it just creates this massive bottleneck. It's pretty subjective, and as our sources show, you usually only get these little fragments of someone's story. That makes it so hard to get people to the right care quickly. I think this analogy just nails it. A typical clinical interview, it's like trying to figure out a whole movie from one blurry picture. You get a tiny glimpse, sure, but you're missing all the depth, all the context you need to really see what's going on with someone's mental health. Okay, so how do we fix that? Well, the whole idea here is to build what they call a digital front door. Basically, a brand new entryway that gets rid of that blurry snapshot and replaces it with a super high-resolution map. And just to be clear, this isn't just another app or a website. It's a whole ecosystem. For a person seeking help, it's one clear path to get started. And for a clinician, it's a tool that gives them incredibly deep insights right from the get-go, closing that gap between that first call and actually starting effective treatment.
So, how does it get from that basic intake to real insight? Well, it all kicks off with something called the Behavioral Health Assessment, or BHA, and it's designed to completely change that first conversation.
Now get this. In less than 20 minutes, someone can fill out a self-guided questionnaire that collects and organizes more than 2,000 structured data points. I mean, just think about that. That is way, way beyond anything you could ever capture in a standard one-hour chat. And we're not just talking about checking off a list of symptoms here. This assessment is built to create a full 360-degree view. It looks at everything from your core beliefs and how you cope with stress to your personality and social situation. The whole point is to understand the entire person, not just the problem they came in with. So here's the big payoff. All that data gets pulled together to create what's called a cognitive map. Remember that blurry snapshot we talked about? Well, this is the complete opposite. It's a detailed, high-res model of a person's unique mental landscape, and it's ready to go from day one. And this map isn't just for looking at. It creates real, actionable tools. You get a deep clinical report for the therapist, a profile that highlights cognitive patterns and what motivates the person, and maybe most importantly, a simple, clear summary for the client, so everyone's on the same page and ready to do real work right away. But the story doesn't end there. I mean, what happens after the assessment? That's where the second piece of this system comes into play, giving support that goes way beyond the therapist office. This is all done through the Continicare Partners platform. It delivers something called digital therapeutics. You'll see it called DTX. The easiest way to think about it is like this. They're clinically proven therapeutic tools, like exercises and lessons, delivered right through an app, and they're personalized for you based on your own cognitive map. The platform kind of wears two hats. On one side, it's a teacher. It gives you these little daily micro lessons that help you understand your own thoughts and patterns. But on the other side, it's a coach, sending you reminders and encouragement to actually practice those new skills in your everyday life. And this is a really big deal. It means therapy isn't just something that happens for an hour a week anymore. This system creates this constant feedback loop. A therapist can see weeks of structured data on mood and progress, so they can use that valuable session time to solve problems, not just play catch-up. Now, what's really cool is that this kind of data-driven approach isn't just for a clinical setting. The same exact tech has been adapted to help people who are already doing well build what you might call mental fitness.
And this brings us to the Continicare Performance module. This version is built specifically for the unique psychological pressures that elite athletes deal with, helping them train their minds just as hard as they train their bodies.
So instead of looking for clinical symptoms, this assessment is all about what it takes to perform at your peak. It looks at things like handling anxiety, bouncing back under pressure, managing your identity after an injury. It's all about proactively building mental strength. Okay, so let's zoom back out. We've seen the assessment, we've seen the daily support. So what's the big picture here? What could a system like this really mean for mental health care as a whole? Well, if you want to see the real-world impact, look no further than this slide. The data shows a massive drop in average wait times. From a pretty typical 30 days,
all the way down to just 48 hours. I mean, for somebody who needs help right now, that is an absolute game changer.
So to just kind of wrap up the benefits here, it brings precision with real data, it creates continuity between assessment and daily care, and it offers huge improvements in efficiency. It's built to scale up for big populations, and this is key. It's designed to be engaging, to get people excited and motivated to play an active part in their own well-being.
Ultimately, the entire goal is to build a system that's just more precise, more continuous, and way more accessible. By totally rethinking that very first step, that front door to care, this model really tries to make sure that no one gets lost in the system. It's truly about keeping mental health in mind.